So I figure it's about time to give everybody a little bit of an update on my cam project. I know I've been a bit off the grid for the last couple of months, and mainly this project has just kind of pushed my patience and I've just been a little bit burnt out. So I do have the cams installed, I do drive my truck around here and there, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tell you the story of what happened after that most recent video about the cam install got shut off. So after I got the cams installed, it was time to put everything back together. And so I slapped the timing belt on there, put everything up, bolted it together, and then I went ahead and tried to start the vehicle. And I started the vehicle and it was starting, it was able to run, but it was running very rough. Had to keep on the gas to keep it going. And what it ended up being was vacuum leak. So I was still able to get the cams broken in, but the issue was on that back side of the intake manifold plenum where you have the vertical coolant hoses. It was not lined up properly. I don't know if the fitting was bent just a little bit so it wasn't perfectly in a straight line. But the hose, instead of sliding over the fittings, was actually causing it to kink and bow, and that caused an issue at that gasketed surface between the upper and lower intake plenum. So I had to figure out how to get that hose to sit straight. I ended up buying the actual Nissan hose instead of using bulk coolant hose, and that solved that. So I fixed that gasket issue. It was running much better, but it was still running a little bit rough. I was trying to adjust the ignition timing with the timing light, and I was trying everything I could to rationalize why it's something external to the engine and it wasn't something that was caused by, say, mechanical timing. But I finally reached the conclusion that I really need to open back up the timing cover just to look at that timing belt. Now, I've done timing belts before, and I know how to keep them timed, but there was a little bit of a difference with this since I was doing the cams. There was a lot of installing the timing belt, rotating it over one way to get to one camshaft, putting everything back on, rotating it the other way to get to the other camshaft. Whereas if you just do the timing belt, it's really easy to not have things shift on you. So I lined the belt up with the paint pen marks that I did, but I didn't count the teeth in between it, so I had the crank sprocket off by one tooth. Now, when I was removing everything to get back down into that timing belt cover, of course I had a bolt that the head stripped out completely. So then I had to waste a couple hours drilling it out and chiseling it out and trying to figure out how to extract this bolt from my engine block. It was one of the bolts on the brackets for the idler on one of the accessory belts. So I opened up the timing cover and I realized a couple things. One, my lower timing cover had a big dent in it. So I've seen a lot of evidence in my truck that it was apparently in a front end collision before I actually owned it. And so it looked like the timing belt had actually been done at some point in the life of this vehicle. But because that timing cover had a dent in it, the belt was actually rubbing on the front side of that timing belt cover. So I must have just had it slightly off center in the sprocket or something. It was just enough to rub on the inside of that lower timing cover. The belt was completely shredded. I'm glad that I took the time to go double check that. But then I had to go to the junkyard. I had to go ahead and get a new timing cover and then bolt everything back up. I had to get a new timing belt, new tensioner. And you can bet your ass that I counted every individual tooth to make sure that everything was perfectly lined up. Got everything bolted back together. And it definitely runs much better now. I still have a little bit of a rough idle that I've been trying to diagnose over the last couple months. It's not enough to really cause much of a problem other than just a general annoyance that I know something is clearly not quite right. So it's just whenever it's idling, you get a little bit of a bouncy idle. It doesn't idle smoothly. It idles maybe a little bit low. If I give it just any amount of gas on the accelerator, everything smooths out fine. I actually ended up buying a scan tool that shows you all of your sensor readings and stuff, trying to read the fuel trims and trying to make some sense out of, is it a signal from the mass airflow sensor? Is it the throttle position sensor or what? Haven't quite figured it out. I think it might be related to ignition timing, but I've been messing with it and trying a bunch of different things, swap Gnostics from the local pull-apart junkyard. It's just been a complete pain. I will say, just as a preliminary explanation, that the performance of the cams definitely adds power. With other mods, like throwing on a muffler or performance exhaust or performance air filter, most of the time it doesn't do anything at all. Some people will say it actually hurts power. Some tests will actually show that. Sometimes you might gain a certain small amount of power, 3, 4, 5 horsepower on one specific area, but the cams actually made a noticeable difference. Anything above 2,000 RPM, it actually pulls really good. You can pass cars on the highway. I can merge onto the highway. It definitely runs a lot better, and I definitely got the results that I was looking for. So the idle issue, like I said, is more of an annoyance right now. I'm still driving my truck around here and there, and it's just something that whenever I have an hour here or there, I just kind of tinker with it. I adjust the idle stops. I take some more readings with my scan gauge, try adjusting different things here. It's a little bit of annoyance. I've basically read every page in the engine control section of the factory service manual. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, to be perfectly honest. What I have seen though is that I've reached out to some other people on YouTube and on message boards that have done different camshafts, and they have not had this type of problem. So now it's wondering, is it still more of a vacuum leak? Is it still something else? I am 100% convinced that my mechanical timing is good. I triple check that thing before I put it back together the second time. So I'm just kind of chipping away at it and checking some things here and there. I'm assuming that it's something that either I did incorrectly or it was something that was already kind of damaged either during the assembly process or was already kind of borderline and finally failed. As a side note, I actually had a little bit of a rough idle before I did the cams, and then once I did the intake manifold spacer and coolant bypass, the idle actually got a lot smoother, and I don't really know why that did that. But of course, after I took everything apart and put the cams in, I undid my intake manifold spacer and undid the coolant bypass to the upper intake, and now I got a rough idle again. So it might be something to do with the throttle body, maybe it has something to do with the coolant fast cam idle that changes your throttle position based on the engine temperature. Still something that I'm looking through. Still, it's an annoyance, but like I said, I've just kind of hit the limit of my patience for this project. I've definitely pushed the limit of my wife's patience on this project. I just don't feel like putting any more like full 8, 9, 10 hour days into this project. So I just kind of chip away at it every now and again to check a couple other things. But overall, it's still drivable. I don't know if I blame the cams for the rough idle quite yet. Still trying to get that sorted out. So that's kind of the update and the explanation for why I've been off the grid. It's just been a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of frustration.